Good day. Welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Yesterday, I'd like you to recall what we talked about. We suggested a creative way in which you can respond to stress, especially in a time like right now where stress is virtually universal. It's increased our worries and our pressures in ways that we all share. And that's what we're in today. So can we get creative with that? What we talked about yesterday, is there a way that we can positively pay it forward by exerting kindness rather than adding stress to a close relationship? In fact, I asked you to remember a time where maybe somebody has done the same thing for you and what a positive difference that made for you. Then I suggested you share with someone in this positive kind of paying it forward way, that you share this with somebody in a day-to-day interaction, that you share what you got with them. And so let me ask you, did you try applying our instructions? And if so, how did it go? I want to share with you just for a moment today how it went for me. At day's end, my nerves are typically pretty fatigued, and they were a bit frayed last night. And my wife, who's working equally hard right now, her nerves are a bit on edge too. So she shared something with me. It didn't land well for me. It wasn't a big deal, but it didn't sit well. And typically, I would probably put that feeling, frustration or dissatisfaction, I'd put that into words and hopefully would do so without getting hostile or aggressive. This time, however, I decided to hold those thoughts and those feelings to myself. I'll tell you why I did. Two reasons. One is that I knew that she was probably no less exhausted than I was. That was the first reason. Secondly, did I really want to end our day on what very possibly would have been a sour note? I think I was being a little bit selfish to say I didn't want to end it that way. The truth is, however, I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision. I certainly oftentimes will make an assertive or kind of boundary, kind of a boundary defining comment because I think it's worth doing. And last night I decided differently. I think it was probably informed by our conversations here these last few days around how to set boundaries with a high quality no. And this time I said no to myself. I thought, let me just hold this inside. So I woke up this morning, and I'll tell you what, I woke up refreshed for one thing, and also with a noticeably different perspective. It was a lighter perspective on what had gone on the night before. In other words, whatever would have tweaked me or punched a button for me, it just didn't feel like that in the light of day. Do you know what I mean by that? Sometimes something that would be irritating to you in a certain state of mind, with a little bit of rest in this case, or with some food to eat, or just some time to pass, it lessens in intensity. And I want to confess to you that my wife has certainly exercised a very similar grace with me on countless occasions over the last 10 years. So this is the least I could do in terms of paying it forward, out of just really, truly undying gratitude to her. Well, let me tell you this. I'm so glad I did. I want you to do this for yourself. These next 24 hours, I want to give all of us a second chance at paying it forward. If you did this yesterday, let's do it again. And if you haven't done it, join me. Paying it forward with somebody we love. And I'm hoping that this example, it's a simple example, but it's meant to be a concrete instance of how even a small thing can make a difference. This time around, as you do the exercise, see how this tiny act makes you feel. I'm telling you, it felt better to me the next day. I think doing it, I really questioned it, but the next day, I felt really grateful that I had done it. And also see if you can imagine how your loved one may have benefited from this small act. So what we're talking about are random acts of kindness and how they can serve sometimes, maybe oftentimes, as a very effective and very inexpensive way of reducing stress. So join me in this random acts of kindness in the next 24 hours. Goodness knows we all need them right now, right? I wish you well. Take good care, stay healthy, be well, and I'll see you tomorrow here at the Vitality Project.